everybody. This is Gorka from Mexicali Fish Keeper. Today is what? Thursday the 19th. Thursday the 19th. And I know if you guys have been listening to me to my live streams for a while, I've been talking about going up to Florida over this weekend. And right now I'm in the process of getting ready to do that, running the last few errands before we have to take off to the airport. So it's going to be a late evening or late night flight. So I've got from now to about 3 o'clock this afternoon to make sure we've packed everything we need to take, fuel the car, wash the car, the general stuff that you do to be able to go. Clean out some of the memory on this phone to make sure that I have enough room for when I get out there. I have enough space to be able to record, whether it's the videos that I'm going to be doing. The plan is, as of right now, on Saturday, which would be the 21st, to be able to go down to Lakeland, link up with Aquafunk, and then from there, my understanding is we're going to go check out a couple of places. Consolidated Fish Farms is one of them down in Tampa, and I guess a new store that just opened up in the area, which is the one that Funk's been working at. And then after that, I don't know, I think I'm going to go back to Funk's house, probably do a little tour of his fish room, and maybe we'll do a live stream from there. So I don't know yet. There might be a slight possibility that we might have somebody else join us during that day. I don't know yet for sure. I'll let you know Saturday morning. So as of right now, I'm going to start getting all the stuff ready for the vehicle and make sure all our bags are packed. So I'll see you guys in a bit. All right. So the next thing I need to do is show you guys what the tanks are going to look like before we leave. So that way I can do a before and after. I already did water changes on all these aquariums a couple days ago. I think what's today is Tuesday is when I did all the water changes for them. So they've all recently had water changes. So just kind of let me do an inventory so that you guys can see the before and then the after. So let me start over here with the terrarium. All right, so here we have the terrarium. This is self-sustaining. I'm not too concerned about what's going to happen with it. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the water level. I'm going to top this off just to make sure, because I don't know how long I'm going to be gone for. But you can see where the water level's at. I might just add a little bit of water, bring it up just to make sure everything's okay. Plants are starting to grow out of the top of this thing. I guess it's doing pretty good. I think I saw some baby isopods, at least one. So I think things are starting to do pretty well. The other thing that I noticed is the other day when I added water, there was a lot of springtails up in this area. And I hadn't seen them before. So that must be doing pretty good. All right. So the next one in here is the 33-gallon cube with the Limia Perugia, I believe it's what they're called. And this is pretty much it. This is what it looks like now, and we'll see what it looks like in a few days. This is the 75-gallon tank. Not a whole lot of plants going on in here other than the Amazon swords and what we have up on top. I will feed these tonight before I leave, or this evening I mean. And that'll be the last feeding they get. And I'm not going to feed anything extra. It'll just be a normal feeding. Down here we have my mud guppy tank, I guess is what we want to call it. And, I have plenty of hiding spaces, plenty of fry. If the parents get hungry, I guess the fry population will diminish. I mean, it is what it is. Down in here is another 55 with these are the black belly limias, and they're doing okay. Lots of plants, so worst case scenario they'll nibble on some of those plants. Over here, I've got the tiger limias. They're predominantly the ones that are in there. I added some guppies in here just because I'm hoping they'll eat some of the planaria. This is the only tank I have planaria in, and I think, I don't know where I got them from, but I don't really have any predators in there. So I did add a couple of cories. Hopefully they'll help me naturally consume some of those planarias, since they do like to rummage the surface of the aquarium. So we'll see what happens. Maybe the guppies, you know, if they don't have anything else to eat, maybe they'll pick them off the glass. So we'll see what happens with that. That's kind of an experiment. Down in here are my blue star antlers. Again, nothing much going on in here. There's a few fry in there. Well, actually quite a bit of fry in there. I don't plan to do anything with this tank. It's going to stay the way it is. So let me turn on the other half. We'll start on this side now that I turned on the lights. I've got the goldfish pond in here. These guys I'm not worried about. There's plenty of duckweed up here for them to sustain themselves. There's algae growing on the surface. They're going to survive. I mean, this is not the first time I've had to do this with the goldfish. I'm not really concerned about it. I think they're going to do just fine. So that's them in there. These guys, I don't know how they're going to do the pseudomagills. Never really. I've had them for that long of a time. We'll see what happens. There are some plants and a little bit of algae on those plants. You can see there. If they really start getting hungry, they'll start nibbling on some of that stuff. This is the only tank that's heated. I don't think these guys do very well when the temperature drops. So they have a heater in there. That's kind of working in there. These guys I'm not concerned about. There's plenty of algae, shrimp, you name it. I have some white clouds in there and some least killifish. And so worst case scenario, if the least killifish drop fry, they're just going to get consumed. Down in here, there's really nothing in here other. I mean, this is supposed to be eventually a rice fish pond, but I have, I think, some lyre-tailed guppies that I threw in here at one point. When I throw food in there is when I see them, but you know, they'll be fine. These guys I'm not too concerned about. As you can see, there's plenty of algae growing on the plants, and I have the surface. It's got some duckweed. So worst case scenario, they become omnivorous for a little bit if they really get bad, and you know, they start getting a little hungry. So, and then down here, this is a self-sustaining system. Plenty of fry, you know, different sizes. Again, vegetation. They're going to do what they need to do to survive, so I'm not concerned about those guys. But that's just kind of a quick rundown of all the aquariums in here in the garage. This is what they look like now. I just turned off the light over there. We'll see what they end up looking like in, 6 days. So, see you guys then.
When will I return?
All right, let's go to Mexicali Fish Keeper. So we're back from Florida. As you guys saw earlier today, I stopped at a fish store this afternoon, and this morning actually, and I did a fish tour from there, Kona Reef from of Chandler. But I'm back in the fish room. I just literally walked in here and sat down, but I wanted to show you what my fish room looks like after being gone for, let me see, we left Thursday night, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, so 6 days without feeding, no water changes, no nothing. So I'm going to find out if I have any casualties or anything like that at the same time you are. We're going to go through this together. And, well, with that being said, let's get going. I just turned on all the lights. I haven't even peeked in the tanks yet. It's not time for them to come on, but because we're doing this, I might as well turn them on so that I can get a better view. So let me turn the camera around so we can see together. All right, we're going to start with my indoor pond. As you guys can see, the water at the surface is flickering, which is a good indication. So let's see what we got going on in here. We did have a little bit of a cold spell during the time I was gone for a couple of days. It did dip down into the high 30s, low 40s. And I was a little bit concerned because I had to leave the door open. As you guys can see, the only thing I had was this heavy blanket that I used to cover the doorway. There's a couple of reasons why I did that, and I'll probably explain to you why I decided to do that. But we're looking here at the goldfish. I see 1, 2, 3. I thought I saw another one in here. Let me see. Well, there's at least 3. I don't have any odd smells. I don't see any bodies. Everything seems to be okay. Water looks good. There's some moats from some of the shrimp that are in here. What I don't see, I had a group of guppy. Oh, there they are. They're hiding. Okay, never mind. I have some guppies in here, and I was thinking, well, maybe they got, but no, they're in here. Yep, they're in there. They were just hiding because I was moving the surface. So this is the goldfish tank. So far, so good. I mean, that many days gone, no water changes. You can kind of see the clarity of the water. You can see the goldfish are in there. So everything's looking okay. Oh, there they are. I was looking for the 2 more. They're in there. Water doesn't smell funny. No, water's good. So there's that. These are my fork tails. And I don't see any floaters. There's a little bit of algae on the glass, which I was kind of expecting that. For the most part, they're all here. There's a group up there. How many did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. I think they're all in there. Let me see. Yeah, it's a female, male. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check. There might be 1 or 2 that I don't see. I think I had 8. There's 6 of them in there though. I'm gonna take a closer look at that tank just to make sure. A couple of them were going into the basket that's in there, so maybe they're hiding in there. I don't know yet. But overall, tank looks good. Water level, not too bad. You can see where the water line was at. The evaporation on that, that's looking okay. Next one down is my 20 long that's been scaped. Just the floating plants seem to have taken over. The fish are looking really, really good. I would have to feed to see if the fry is still in here. As a matter of fact, no, that's not a fry. But overall, I would say it's looking pretty good. Little juvenile down there. So that tank is good. You can see the water evaporation. You can see the line because it was actually filled up all the way up to the edge. So I have about 1 inch that probably evaporated. This one, the evaporation looks extreme, but this guy right here is probably the guilty party. Huh, you drank all that water, huh? So I'm pretty sure you can see where he's been drinking out of this aquarium. There's still some of the fish in there. Water level is a little bit lower than I like. I'm going to have to top this off. Clearly looks good. I don't see any bodies floating on here. It's just the water level is a lot lower than I would care for it to be. All right, we're going to go up to the Shelly tank. This one I am going to change the livestock in here. I'm going to remove the shell rollers are here. I'm going to put them in a tote, and I'm probably going to put them in PVC pipes so that I can harvest these guys and be able to sell them when I need to sell them. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to get all of them out of here, but that's what's happening, and it'll happen this week. So next time we look at this, it'll be a different livestock in there. I don't know if I'm going to rearrange some of the hardscape or stuff like that. I don't know yet, but changes coming to this. I'm done with the shell dwellers in that tank. Down in here, numbers look good. I see fry in there. The only thing I added in here is that angelfish in the back, hiding in the back. He's looking okay. Plenty of fry, so he didn't eat all the fry. I think overall this tank is looking pretty good. Nothing very alarming. There's a lot of holes in these plants, so I'm going to start fertilizing a little bit more. These are getting a little bit too leggy. I'm going to have to trim those and replant them. Just a little maintenance that has to be done. You can see the top. When I left, there wasn't any duckweed on here. And you can see it's starting to take over. So that's what that looks. The worst tank is probably this one. Oh my God. Look at that hair algae. The fish look fantastic. But hair algae out of control. I also had an issue with planaria in this tank. This is the only tank that I've seen them be a problem. I'm not saying they're probably not in other tanks, but this one, you guys can see them right there. One of the things that I was hoping is, because I wasn't feeding this tank for a while, that maybe the guppies and all the live birds that are in here and these guys would have handled business because it wasn't fed for 6 days, but apparently they haven't been doing their job. So I think I'm going to continue to not feed this tank until that becomes under control. That is the only food that'll be in there for a while. Down in here is my antler tank. Blue Star antlers. This one's looking really good. No issues with algae. Plenty of fry in here. No complaints out of this tank. You can see a lot more fry in the back. So they've been doing good. They've been thriving. So that's that one. Over here, I have my 75-gallon, I guess, barb community tank for the most part because they're mostly barbs in here. This one is looking a little... the plants are really struggling right now. I need to do some stuff with that. But the fish look healthy. They don't look like they have sunken bellies. I don't see any carcasses in the aquarium. I still see plenty of fish in here. I think overall they were doing good. What were they eating? I have no idea because there's no fry in here. So it must be the microorganisms, or they could be the result of all those leaves being nipped. Like these over here. They're really showing a lot of damage on the leaves. So I'm thinking that that's probably what these guys resorted to, was eating some of the plant matter just to survive. So those are it right there. Down in here, let me see how I can do this. This one's super dark. You can see all the guppy grass that grew up at the top. The guppy grass, the duckweed. The fish, this one has a little bit of algae on the glass, but overall the fish are looking pretty good. They're doing fine. This one is a guppy tank. Water's a little cold. I'm going to get some water temperatures right now, but everybody seems to be doing okay. A lot of fry. Nothing has really changed in that tank. In here, let me see. No, these guys are looking pretty good. Plecos are okay. Yeah, I don't see any bodies, whether it's floating. You can see how the top got really full of duckweed. But this is what I always say about these tanks when you don't mess with them for a while. Look at the water clarity. All of these guys. The water is super, super clear on all of these tanks, which is always find it fascinating that's usually what happens. The less you mess with them, the more they do. And these guys are all the cold, well, just my mud guppies, really. That's what they are. But everything looks normal. I don't see any bodies. I don't see an abundance of bodies. I'll feed this right now and see how many of the shrimp actually come out. But again, 6 days, no water changes, no food, no ambient control. That was the ambient control. Is that sheet so that I could keep the door so that Toby could come in and out. We did have our son come and check on him like twice, but what I did pretty much was just left a bunch of food for him and a bunch of water. He's got a bucket of water, but yet he'll drink the stuff that's in here. So he's really happy that we're here. Huh? Are you happy that I'm here? Yeah? So there you have it. That's what happens when you go on away for a few days. And don't worry about your fish room. You don't become a slave to it. Granted, I don't know if this would work for everybody, especially people that keep the big, massive fish, the big cichlids. It works for me. I have heavily planted tanks. I have smaller body fish. And it's not the first time that I do this. Actually, this wasn't even the longest that I've done it. I've been gone for 2 weeks. Same results. Not an issue. Of course, my tanks are seasoned. So I don't know how much of that is playing into this. Most of these tanks are older than a year. For the exception of probably the tank back here. Well, that's not true because let me turn this around. This iteration of that pond I put up whenever I turned the fish room into this configuration. So it's a few months old. Top one is probably the newest tank that I set up. Must be a couple of months old, maybe if that, if not less. This one, you guys saw when I did the build for this one. It was at the beginning of this year. So it's what, 2, 3, maybe 2 or 3 months that it's been established. Same thing for that tank. I'm trying to remember which one I did first. If I did that first and then that one, but they're about the same time. This one though, this one's a couple of years. That has been set up, just, rescaped or whatever, a couple of times to look different. But it's, as far as the media that's in there, all that stuff has already been established for quite some time. I am surprised to see that plant, how much it's grown in the time that we were gone. I got to water all of these because I think they're starting to look a little bit sad and dry. Let me put this in here, let it get some water. This one, everything seems to be looking pretty good. Leaves are getting bigger as they're starting to grow, starting to get new growth. Overall, I would say this looks good. So, there you have it. I don't know what else to tell you guys other than I'm not a slave to my aquariums. I don't worry about what happens. I'm pretty confident that I can get away from here and things will be fine. Just wanted to share that with you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy.